What do you do when the woman you built your life with, the one you gave your name, your time, your children, your everything, one day admits she never wanted any of it? Well, that's exactly what's going on with Steph Curry's wife, Ayesha, who recently went on record saying she never wanted to be married and she never wanted kids.
4 kids. Did you always knew you wanted a big family?
No. So, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goals. And I was never the little girl that like dreamt about the wedding dress and all of that. And then it happened so early in my life. So it's like, it's one of those things like you don't know what you actually don't know what you want.
It's so hard also to be the woman in a situation where you're like, men just don't get as much scrutiny. Like they can maybe tell him like your fucking shots suck tonight, but like the looks and all of that is just like not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Like, or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do not have a bone in my body that can keep anything to myself. So if it comes to mind, it's coming out. And he's so gracious. Like he tries to resonate with me, but he just can't.
After a decade of marriage and 4 children later, she suddenly drops this bomb super casually on a podcast. Crazy to me. Insane to see Steph try to defend this, but hey, it is what it is, I suppose.
Curry is the definition of a weak man. Stephen Curry is the definition of a weak man. He's weak-minded. Ain't no fucking way I'm finna sit here and let my wife say, oh, I didn't want to marry him. He doesn't feel me emotionally. I didn't really like him till he got money. Like, how much more do you need to just say, I'm gone? Like, I would have divorced her ass so fast. I don't care about her getting 50% of my assets, none of that shit. You can have any woman in the world. You probably the greatest point guard of all time. And your legacy is defined by what the fuck your wife said. That's absolutely diabolical. Like, that's diabolical. Like, she is doing everything she can to absolutely throw this man under the bus and destroy his career. And she's his wife. Like, I'm pretty sure she makes him sleep on the couch. He sleeps on the couch. There is no fucking way you finna sit here and tell me that if I run my house, my woman finna sit here and keep talking about me on every podcast. Then she does her best to basically say, I'm trying not to cheat on him. I want to cheat on him, but I'm going to try not to because I know you guys love Steph. Like, Steph, like, bro, you got to drop your nuts, bro. You got to drop your nuts. You have to. Like, we're getting secondhand embarrassment because we idolize you in the sports world and you just...
Ayesha Curry's issue isn't what she didn't do before she got married. It is what she is currently doing while she's married within the past 8 months, which is going out of her way to insult her husband, going out of her way to make a fool out of her relationship. And then there's so many single women out here, unwedded women out here, women that are pass-arounds, women that are unhappy in their relationships, saying, oh, she should have just slept around beforehand and slept with any hooligan she can find or any dude she's attracted to, so that way she could have got it out of her system. What? That doesn't make any sense. Steph Curry married her because she is pure, God-fearing, wasn't ran through. And you're saying she should have done the exact opposite to go get Steph? That doesn't even make any sense. You're saying she should go backwards in order to get Steph so she can fulfill a stupid void inside of her soul? Why do you have a void in your soul to sleep with people? Because women of today are more interested in fitting in than having a good relationship. You see other people's relationships and you envy them. You see this nasty stuff other women are doing, like, oh, let me try it out. You're not interested in being your own person. You're interested in copying other people instead. Go and be your own person. You shouldn't regret not collecting a bunch of bodies. You know how high
the story is about Steph and Ayesha, more specifically the embarrassment Steph is facing from Ayesha. But the real message behind this video is, fellas, we need to listen to what women tell us the first time. Because relationships that start off like this never end well, and that's regardless of how long you two may be together. And let's be honest, and I'm just gonna say this up front because I've met a lot of women who have said this just very casually throughout conversation. A lot of you dudes try to baby trap women in hopes that, you know, she stays with you for long term. I don't know why you would do that to yourself, because you're setting yourself up for, like, you know, 18 years of child support if things go south, but hey, you do you, I guess. Now, Steph Curry is a 4-time NBA champion, a generational talent pretty much, and his net worth is definitely over the triple-digit marks of the millions. And with that all said, you would think Ayesha would be happy, right? Like, yo, imagine having a wife that you take care of, you financially support her in every way imaginable, you're emotionally supportive, and you do all the things necessary. Meanwhile, at the same time, she's not happy with the life that you've given her, and all this while you've been together for more than a decade. Unfortunately, that is the delusion a lot of us guys live in, and especially when we consider the fact that she probably mentioned this to him in conversation numerous times back in the day, but we live with that delusion of thinking maybe she'll come around. Like, we think if we provide everything materially, the emotional and spiritual part would just follow. And maybe not so much the emotional part. I know there are guys out there who could also be emotionally supportive, but I don't know, sometimes we lead so much with the provider protector mindset that it sets us up for failure, because a lot of women don't even want that. Like, they don't want that role, and here we are trying to force them into it by way of, you know, just being a good guy. And then when we get burned from something like this, we get upset because we're good guys. But like, newsflash, if she wanted someone like that, then, you know, this wouldn't be a problem, obviously. Now let's rewind this a few years. Remember when Ayesha went on the Red Table Talk and said she felt insecure because other men weren't giving her attention?
Something that really bothers me, and like honestly has given me a sense of a little bit of an insecurity, is the fact that, yeah, like there are all these women like throwing themselves, but me, like the past 10 years, like I don't have any of that. Like I have zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then like I begin to internalize it, and I'm like, is something wrong with me? You're not looking.
She's married to Steph Curry. How did you expect to get more attention than him? Listen, aside from her wanting validation from strangers, that was the first warning shot. And you know, again, a lot of us guys fall into that as well. Sometimes we hear women say these things when we first encounter them, you know, upon like the first date, but we're so enamored with them that we don't even care, like we don't even think about it. And then years later, when y'all are arguing and then she goes off and she's like, oh, I never wanted the kids, I never wanted to be a mom. And you're looking at her like, well, I can't believe you. Dog, she said that to you like years ago. You just didn't give a fuck because you wanted her. And unfortunately, that's what happens when you're so forward thinking and like, you know, wanting a relationship or wanting to be with people. You end up in these situations. With her last statement mentioning she never wanted marriage or kids, Steph should have taken that as confirmation. She was never built for the life Steph envisioned. She just played the role because it looked good and it felt safe, and also it was socially acceptable, which is something we also don't talk about. A lot of people just fall into these roles simply because it's the socially acceptable thing to do. I can't tell you as a coach how many married women I've run into, and I'll ask them honestly, did you want to be married? And they'll say no. I know women with kids right now who I've coached and have told me directly to my face, wholeheartedly transparent as fuck, I never wanted kids. This man baby trapped me. Fellas, I don't know how else to put this to y'all, but for a lot of us, the idea of having kids or a lineage or a legacy just won't be something that is afforded to us, right? And unfortunately, although I know a lot of people are going to be upset about that, you kind of just have to live with that. Like, it is what it is, right? Because again, I have to ask you, why would you force that? Or not force, that's definitely the wrong word to use, but why would you coerce someone by way of, you know, how you're acting and manipulation in order to, you know, make that happen? If she never wanted kids and never wanted to be married, then dog, just stick with that. And even if she starts complaining and she starts talking about how she then wants to be married and wants children, bro, don't fall for it. Because that's social pressure. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a true desire from her. That's something she wants. And I think that's where a lot of guys mess up. We hear, I'm not ready for marriage, or I don't really want to have kids. And instead of listening, we go, don't worry, baby, you'll change your mind. Like, yo, again, at the end of the day, you can't change someone's mind on something like that. Like, those are big lifetime commitments. And if someone doesn't want to do that, coercing them or trying to convince them to do that is not going to end well in your favor. You're much better off finding someone who aligns with you than who doesn't. Because again, at the end of the day, they don't actually want to be there. They might be enjoying the things you do for them, right? They enjoy the company, the things you buy for them, where you take them, how you treat them, stuff like that, but they don't actually intrinsically want you. Hey, dating's tough, man. I'm not gonna lie, this shit is really rough. And since we're talking about the truth, honestly, family, I need your help. We're on the way to 10K subscribers, and I need you to be a part of this community. So look, if you like the video so far, if you just like my videos in general, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button and share a video with a homie. Let them know about the channel. In this way, we can create broader and more diverse conversations about stuff like this. Now, I've never been in Steph's exact situation, but I've dated women who've told me straight up, I don't want anything serious, or I'm not sure I even want a family. And you know, I always thought she's just saying that now and she'll come around later. But unfortunately, they never do. They never do. Fellas, especially for my young men, if you're watching this right now and you are trying to convince a woman like you're chasing her, you're courting her and all this stuff, if she's not going for it the first time around, bro, she doesn't actually want you. Just do yourself a favor, disengage, and find someone who's reciprocating that energy. Like, why chase something that doesn't want to be caught? Think, man. Now, here's my assumption. I was thinking with my ego. And that's probably the same mistake Steph made, which is the same mistake men always make. And we constantly think about our ego and we move with our ego when it comes to relationships. And we gotta be honest about that. We think if we provide stability, leadership, and protection, then that automatically equals loyalty, admiration, and gratitude. But that's not how women work whatsoever. And I'd also like to add, that's not how women's desire works, or just human nature in general. If she doesn't truly want that role for herself, there is no amount of love, money, or status that is gonna change that. Literally, no amount of money, love, or status. And we see it all the time. Rich people getting divorced, poor people getting divorced. Do y'all not see the pattern that is occurring here over and over again? And as a side note, I'm not saying Ayesha Curry is a bad person at all. If anything, she probably expressed this back in the day, but I don't know, went along with it. Now, is that nefarious? Yeah. Would I say that completely makes her a bad person? Okay, maybe also yes. But at the same time though, I can't 100% fault her, because if she did mention this to Steph when she was younger, then whose fault is it really? Is it not Steph's fault for her not listening and just being blind to the fact that she truthfully never wanted any of this and thought the millions of dollars could, you know, dissuade her and change her mind? How's that working out? And I think what's worse is that now that Steph is seeing all this play out in media, he's probably sitting at home like, damn, I should have actually fucking listened. Now listen, if this has ever happened to you, let me know your story in the comment section below. And you know, be honest, be transparent. You know, this happens to all of us. Maybe not to the gravity for Steph and, you know, Ayesha, but some way or another, all of us guys find ourselves in a situation where, you know, a woman didn't, you know, necessarily actually want to be with us. Now, there's some dudes that chronically fall into this over and over again. You guys leave your story too. And also let us know why you keep falling for stuff like this. But also, while you're down there, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Anyway, let's continue. All right, y'all. So what is the lesson here? Simple, super duper simple. I'm gonna keep this $1,000 with you. Ready? Listen to what women have to say the first time, and you will save yourself a world of trouble. And you know, for the women, like the 5 ladies that are probably watching this, I would say listen to what a guy has to say the first time too. Maybe more so like his actions, words as well, because any guy worth his salt is, you know, gonna stand up behind his words and follow through with some action. But what I would say is, you know, basically whatever first sign you get of someone's true nature, their true character, please do yourself a fucking favor and listen to it, because you're gonna end up in a situation where maybe the relationship ends bitterly, right? Like things go south and it's all fucked up. Or maybe you end up in a resentful relationship where you two just aren't really supposed to be in this predicament. Like you're not supposed to be a family and have children and have a house and, you know, maybe in Steph's case, multiple properties with a legacy behind it. Maybe that should have been with someone else, I don't know. But now the question is, how are they gonna resolve it? And in your own life, you have to ask yourself, how are you gonna move on and resolve this too? Because at the end of the day, you have to deal with this person. This person is a part of your life. And if you have children, they're going to be a part of your life for the rest of it. So you need to figure out what this relationship means to the both of you in this moment in time, and how you two are gonna go your separate ways as amicably as possible. Because I think people, hot take, I know, especially in this world, in this climate, hot take. I think to an extent, people deserve some sort of companionship. I'm trying to like, not ginger foot it, but you know, I'm just trying to say as open-ended as possible. Like people deserve to have companions, you know, but like obviously that person has to want to be with them too. So I don't know, you won't catch me having family with someone who don't want a family. That's stupid. That's dumb as shit. Anyway, I've been yapping for long enough. Hopefully Steph and Ayesha, you know, manage to solve this in their own life. You let me know what's going on in your life in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, and if you haven't subscribed yet, come on man, do me a favor, subscribe. It's early ass in the morning. I'm making this video at fucking 6:51 in the morning, so please hit that subscribe button. Anyway, I'll see you on the next video. Peace.